Hello and welcome to Conversion Conversations. This is Cameron, and today we are taking a look at Transformers Generations Studio Series 108. It is Rise of the Beasts Wheeljack, and we have Wheeljack in his Peruvian, well, it's not a Peruvian van, it's a Volkswagen, but as a Peruvian, news van, TV Pablo here on the side. He comes with his background. They'd always do these Studio Series backgrounds. I don't think they do much for me, especially this one in particular seems bad because the scale is very, very weird. It doesn't look like, it makes him look smaller than he should already be. And he's already a tiny van. But here he is. He's a, what is this? A Volkswagen Type 1. We got the silver lighting. There is paint on this. It just helps make it look duller, in my opinion. Like, we've got lots of things picked out in silver. We've got the tampographed sign over here. We've got a little black on the rear view, windshield back here. But all of it just makes him look kind of color-wise uninteresting. And I feel like he had like a little bit of rust and stuff in the movie. That, because it's missing here, makes him look visually less interesting. For comparison, here is the retail release. And man, does that blue help? Like, yes, it is inaccurate, but it helps a lot. And obviously this is like a licensed Volkswagen alt mode, and this is just a generic version. But I really like this one more. It just immediately pops out to me to the eyes. I really dig it. Comparing the two of them, yes, this is doing the thing where it's being more accurate to the movie, but this is more visually interesting. Although I do really, really like in this version that you can see his head kind of peeking out there. That's pretty good. And we saw the size comparison here. I mean, they are essentially the same size. They both roll just fine. But that does mean, because he's the same size as the retail mold, he is, tiny for a van. For size comparison, here he is, next to Battle Trap and like a pickup truck. These should be about the same size. It is disappointing that he's just a deluxe instead of a Voyager. That really, it throws him off with the whole team. But I guess it's one of those things, because his bot mode is tiny, I guess they had to make the alt mode tiny, although it is disappointing. He does have some kind of weapon storage. He's got some tabs here that very loosely go in underneath his underside that you can pull out his gun. And his gun is oddly transparent. Like, I have no idea why this thing is transparent plastic. It wasn't clear in the movie, but it doesn't really have anywhere else to store. I tried like sticking it in. It's got some tabs on the sides here, but those don't really go with anything, they don't stick into anything on the sides. So it really just seems like you kind of wedge him in underneath here, and that's the best spot for it. Other than that, I mean, he rolls, he looks fine, he's just small. Let's get into his transformation. To start, we're going to come in, we're going to flip out these shins like we did before revealing the gun. We can come in up top, and we're just going to pull apart his legs. This will help separate these panels here. I can never get my fingernail under there properly to get it, but you could also do that. And then you can pull, this is on a double hinge, so you want to pull this out and to the side and down. That lets you extend out the legs from the rear of the robot van, and you'll notice they'll probably come apart on their own. We can, with the legs out, we can close the shins back up. They kind of push a teeny tiny bit out the tippy toes that we can bring out from his van section, flipping out the heel on either side. And then we flip the legs around 180. And we've got, the legs all done here. Next, we're going to come in up top, and this might start separating out on its own. He is super panely. If you watched my short video, you'll see that the transformation from bot to van is really fiddly and frustrating. It also has a really weird section here that I'm surprised. It's one of the things I hate about any transformation if it ever happens. So, okay, we get these arms out. We're going to pop up this front section of the van, like so. Just get it kind of out of the way. Next, we want to bring these arms up. So we've opened up these doors. We're going to bring these arms up and out from underneath his chest and kind of sticking them up above us and collapsing them out of the way. Again, just fiddly. Stuff wants to run into each other. Keep going up, or stuff wants to pop off. There we go. The good news is, because this is just, there's no pin through it, you can just stick it back on, but it is transparent plastic, so if it happens too many times, it might start wearing things down. Okay, so with the arms up and out of the way, we are going to close these doors again, because that lets us flip this waist around and then bring his chest forward, and then we have to open them again. I really don't like when a transformation makes me undo a step I did. Maybe it's a personal thing. It doesn't happen very often, because I think people in general don't like it, but it is very, very strange that you have to close the doors to get that bit of rotation and then open them again. I don't know why that happened the way it did. We bring these arms down, and there is Wheeljack all transformed. And this backpack is also a point of frustration. It needed one more joint because it just kind of hangs out behind him. You can put it up like this. You can put it down. Either way, it sticks out. Maybe if it had a swivel that you could spin it and peg it into his butt or something, or his back. But as is, here is Wheeljack. And he looks, pretty good, from appearance sake. I just don't love that transformation. Let's get them all stood up if we can. Get those. There we go. So there's Wheeljack. Again, the color scheme didn't change that much. He still is pretty dull looking. The thing I do like, and we do have that head sculpt. I love the glasses. I think it's so cute. I really, really like that. I like the detail on his chest. I guess this is accurate to the way it was in the movie, but I just needed a color, like maybe the red Autobot symbol or something would have helped pop things out. He does seem a little oddly detached and skinny in his torso. It feels like he was a little portlier in the movie, which is a bit of character that he's missing. This is decently articulated. You get these, door wings angled and out of the way and the back out of the way. You do have a joint on the neck that lets you look up and down and side to side. That's all good. You can 360 on the shoulder. They can go really, really high because of transformation. We appreciate that. They can go kind of butterfly, which I appreciate. There is also a separate elbow swivel here. You can extend out straight and then go deeper than 90 degrees. You cannot, and this is the big miss for me, the wrist is fixed in place. It's all one molded piece from the forearm up. I don't know how that happened on a studio series. That seems like a really unfortunate miss and limits kind of posability. You can go out, but not quite the full Van Damme. The way his hips are sculpted, they knock into his waist, which is unfortunate. The waist does twist, obviously, because of transformation. He can go a little less than 90 on the knees, which is unfortunate. There is knee swivel here, and then he can, you know what? I kind of assumed he had ankle tilt, and he actually doesn't. He does have, toe tilt, heel tilt, those sorts of things, but not ankle tilt. So, in terms of posability, like you can get him into some decent poses, get him ready to go kind of thing. But it's not the most posable figure. And it also, I feel like in some ways, maybe I'm just used to the toy, but if I'm comparing the two of them, I think I like this version better. I feel like because of the way he wants to sit on his heels, like his feet feel a little small in terms of like balancing him. Whereas I like the big stomping boots on the retail release. I also feel like these proportions are better. I just like that he's kind of squat and cute in this version. In this one, he seems oddly skinny. Plus, I think I like the glasses in both versions, but I think I like this one better. There's a lot that I just happen to like about the retail release better. Obviously, this, I think, only came in a 3-pack, which was unfortunate. But comparing the two, like, maybe this is more screen accurate to the movie. I honestly don't remember. But this one just seems, it was a more fun transformation. It was Just seems like a better toy overall. That being said, we do have other Studio Series to compare them to. I think Mirage is my only other Studio Series Autobot right now. So, here's how they look together. And in robot mode, I think the scale works pretty good. Obviously, we can add some Maximals to the fray. And honestly, the person that Wheeljack I think got the most screen time with was RC, and I just don't have Rise of the Beasts RC. But, here's kind of how he would scale with the Studio Series toy line. So in terms of this, like, he looks good as part of the group. But if you notice, like, the whole group seems kind of dull. Like, it's RC, Optimus, and Bumblebee that have, like, the color. Everyone else is kind of this dull gray plastic or black plastic. It stinks that what I felt was a very vibrant movie is represented by such a muted toy line. And yeah, this is another case of, is this the best engineering they could have fit into a Studio Series figure? I don't think so. I think they could have been even more inspired by the retail release, figuring out a way to make it look more screen accurate, but keeping like the interesting transformation and things from this toy. This one, again, Studio Series, especially the Autobots. I mean, the Maximals a little bit, the Unicron's army a little bit, but the Autobots have been uniformly kind of just meh for me for Rise of the Beasts, and I think it's strongly because they try to come out with the toy line the same time as Rise of the Beasts. Instead of making all of these, just make them retail release, make them regular retail release, and then do Studio Series like a year from now or 2 years from now when you really have the time to finalize exactly what the characters are going to look like on screen. It's come out so you can, really nail the transformation, the appearance, the posability, the engineering. That it feels missing from the Studio Series line right now, which is disappointing. So, all that being said, I recommend, if you can, go on eBay and get this guy if you want a Rise of the Beast Wheeljack. It's the better toy. This isn't bad, but it's not worth the $25. And I'll catch you all on the next one. Bye, everybody.